What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Bruce, this is What's Popping, and in today's video we are unboxing Funko's entire new line of Pinocchio figures. That is right, guys. Very recently Funko came out with a brand new line of Disney Pops, and it's a new wave of Pinocchio figures. I think this has been a little while coming. We did see the exclusive Jiminy Cricket come out last year for New York Comic Con. An amazing piece. We have it in our collection. He is absolutely beautiful. I think, you know, any Disney collector loves Jiminy Cricket, so we are absolutely thrilled to have him in the collection. We're so excited when he came out. And around the same time, I think maybe a little bit earlier, there was also that Pinocchio with Jiminy on his nose that came out as a pop-in-a-box exclusive. So they have been sort of toying with some new Pinocchio figures, maybe testing the market to see how well they did, and I'm assuming they did quite well because Funko have now come out with another line of 5 figures as part of their like Disney Pinocchio wave. So we have those 5 figures here. I got them from the Geek Merchant, so thank you very much, Geek Merchant, for helping us out to buy these. He's bringing in a ton of stuff, guys. Please go check him out if you are a South African collector. Definitely worth following him on Facebook, getting onto his WhatsApp group. There's exclusives coming out all the time. The great thing about, well, what I've really enjoyed about purchasing from the Geek Merchant is you can put a deposit down, and then when the pops actually arrive after being pre-ordered, you can pay the balance and have the pops shipped out to you. So it's a great service, and just really, you know, what more do you kind of need? The pops are at a great price, and you can put that at a deposit, so you don't go pop broke absolutely every month, or not as pop broke as you usually go. But anyways, I'm rattling on a bit, so let's go ahead, unbox this line. I'm just going to pull them out one by one, and we'll start here with Geppetto. So Geppetto is the first one I've pulled out from the series. You can see on the back here that it is a series of 5 figures. There is a chase for the Blue Fairy. I didn't go ahead and pick up the chase. Just, you know, for my collecting, there are some figures I think that are chases that you just have to have, and then there's other chases that if you come across them in a store and you're lucky to find them, you'll buy them for your collection. But the Blue Fairy wasn't one, and the Geek Merchant, to his credit, did offer a option where you could buy the chase. It just wasn't, you know, quite right for our collection. So anyways, here's Geppetto, and you will notice, guys, on the bottom of the box there is a Geek Merchant sticker as well, and this is because it's a parallel import. So if you're finding an extra sticker on your box, don't freak out about it. And actually, I would include this as a pretty good sign that you don't have a fake Funko Pop. If you've seen a little while back, I did a video on fakes. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link somewhere up here. Go check it out, and I would add as an addendum that if you've got a Geek Merchant sticker on the bottom, you're probably good, and it's definitely not a fake figure. So let's have a look at Geppetto out of the box. And just to start off with, guys, I think this is a great sign from Funko that we are seeing some new characters being made, because Funko hold obviously all of these licenses across so many different genres, across Disney, across Marvel. Or Disney owns everything, so I guess once you get a Disney license, you get a license to everything. But Funko have, you know, everything from Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Will and Grace. Yeah, you name it, Funko's got the line for it. And we've seen for a lot of those lines that Funko have been making the same figures over and over again and different iterations of the same character. So I think it's really encouraging to see they've gone with an older license and created some new characters. So I'm very excited to see where Funko go with this, and hopefully we're going to see some more obscure characters, some more different characters from older licenses being made. That's just my hope for the future. But anyways, guys, Geppetto looks amazing. I love the dynamic poses on pretty much all of these figures. They all look like they're doing something. He is of course playing his accordion. Name nearly escaped me there. He's got his feet up, so you can see he's kind of dancing along with the accordion. His glasses are beautifully done. All of the figures in this line are really well detailed, probably except for the Blue Fairy. But I would say that 4 out of 5 of these are beautifully detailed figures. I love, like I said, the dynamic poses. The paint jobs on them are all super clean, because, you know, it's one of the earlier Disney movies. They stuck with kind of basic wardrobes for the characters. So I think when you're doing figures, you have to make sure you're hitting those clean paint lines, and Funko have definitely nailed that on all of these figures. So Geppetto, a must-have for any Pinocchio collector. I think he's amazing. Thrilled to have him in the collection, and just a stunning character that I think we waited way too long for. I'm just going to reach into the box and see who we pull out next. And next we have the man himself, Pinocchio. Well, the boy himself, the puppet himself, Pinocchio. So there he is. Lovely box on these as well, I must say. I love the vibrant colors. It really sort of pops. And these aren't bad figures to be displaying in box if you are an in-box collector. As far as I saw, all of the figures also come with stands, so that's nice, and especially with them being in these dynamic poses. But here we have Pinocchio. He is on his way to school. He's got his books in hand, he's got his apple, that iconic Pinocchio hat that I think if you walk around Disney World with one of those on, everyone's going to know exactly which character you're trying to be, unless someone mistakes you for Peter Pan, in which case you just tell them to go and recap all of their Disney knowledge. But this is a beautiful figure, guys. I love his oversized bow tie, obviously, that he's wearing on his way to school, and some amazing detail they've gone into here. If you look at his legs, you can actually see the little joints and the sort of, I don't know what the carpentry terms are for it, but you can see sort of the joints, and I want to say nuts and bolts, but obviously, well, I would say obviously I don't think it is nuts and bolts, but the little joints and hinges, that's the word I'm looking for, the hinges, because he's obviously still a puppet. So I think that is a great job and some great attention to detail by Funko. Again, the dynamic pose, he looks like he's walking, he's on his way, he's got his balance kind of shifted to one side, which is quite nice, and then obviously why you need that stand as well. My one thing about this line, and I'm just going to say it now before we even get to the Blue Fairy figure, is that I think Funko missed a trick with their chase. I think doing a chase for this line, they would have done really well to have done a chase Pinocchio as a real boy. I mean, how did you miss that trick, to have Pinocchio as a real boy? You could have done something a bit different with his facial features, maybe again, you know, his arms are quite square and his legs are quite square because they are that kind of, you know, he's a puppet sort of figure. So I think maybe that's why they didn't go that route. It would have required an entirely new body mold, and Funko generally with their chases like to either have a different head sculpt or change the paint job. So I guess that's why they didn't do it, but I still think they missed a trick, and a real boy Pinocchio would have been great as a chase figure to go after the puppet Pinocchio. I think that would have been amazing. That's what the movie's all about in the first place, this whole messianic story. So I think that we definitely missed out on not having a chase real boy Pinocchio, but the chase isn't bad. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they did a bad job with their chase. I just think that Funko could have done a little bit better. Anyways, that's my rant for the video, over and out of the way. Let's go on to Jiminy Cricket. And like I said, guys, there is of course the New York Comic Con Jiminy, which I think is a beautiful figure. That one again has that really super dynamic pose because he's flying and coming down with his umbrella. This one, they've still done a good job of making him look like he's about to start walking. So he's got his umbrella and he's ready to start marching. There is another exclusive version of this that is glittered, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a Books A Million exclusive over in the States. But for me, one mold of the character is, or at least one mold of the character in some of their different poses is more than enough. I don't need to get different paint jobs and different glitters and chromes and all that kind of stuff. But to each their own, guys. If you're a Jiminy collector, then more power to you. Go out and collect all of those Jiminy's. There's only a couple. There's the original Jiminy, this one, the New York Comic Con Flying, and I think the sparkly one, the glitter edition, as well as the one sitting on Pinocchio's nose. So it depends how much of a Jiminy collector you are if you're going to go all the way down the Jiminy rabbit hole. But best of luck to you. I think that's a great thing with some figures, is that as much as I say Funko have got into the habit of creating the same characters from the same licenses over and over again, it has created a niche of collecting for some of us where we can just say, I'm going to collect Stitches from Disney, or I'm going to collect Luke Skywalker's or Darth Vader's or Joker's from Batman or Batman. So that has kind of, I guess, played into their advantage, but I think it might have also made them a little bit lazy in terms of seeking out new characters to make. So hopefully this is a turning point for Funko and we're going to see a little bit less of that. But Jiminy, amazing looking figure. This is him sort of at the beginning of the movie, kind of like hobo-ish, which is really cute, and I think that was one of the things that made him so endearing to us as a character, was his down-to-earth nature, and you know, his role as your conscience, being the purer side of you that isn't reliant on cosmetic things to make you the person that you are. So I think that's a nice reflection of the character. I love, like I said, the fact that the umbrella is up. He's got his arms up and he's like ready to start marching. I think that's really nicely done. Again, the detailing, phenomenal on this figure. The paint lines are clean. There's a couple of little dashes on his hat, but I think those are mainly intentional. There's a little patch that's been sewn on there to show that it's sort of old and raggedy. But again, phenomenal figure. I love the holes in the gloves, so you can see the little green fingers sticking out at the end, and just a beautifully done Jiminy Cricket for our Pinocchio / Disney collection. We are absolutely thrilled to have him, and very excited to have another Jiminy. If we were to go down the Jiminy train, I think we would only need the sparkly Jiminy and the original Jiminy, which is quite an expensive and difficult pop to find. But you know, maybe one day. You never know. You never know what's going to make its way into and across the collection. Moving on from Jiminy to another character that is one that I didn't expect them to make, but I'm so glad they did. It is Figaro with Cleo. Now Figaro is a really cute cat throughout the movie. We've just fallen in love with this cat, and I'm a dog person, but I still absolutely love Figaro, and I love the scene with Cleo as well. We have Cleo going ahead and kissing Figaro on the cheek. So let's have a look at this up close. But this to me is probably one of the best detailed figures out of all of them, just because of the work they've done on Cleo's fishbowl, with the splash coming up the side, the little rocks on the inside there. She's got a little castle that Cleo used to go in and out of throughout the movie, so they've gone into that detail there. And what I like about Figaro is that they haven't just plucked white paint on her. They've actually used sort of an off-white color for the coat, which I think is really nice. So a bit of detail that I really appreciate, and it gives you that old Disney watching it on a VHS feel when you look at this out of box. It doesn't feel like a digitized character. It feels like this Funko Pop has popped out of the movie into your collection, which I think is a lot of fun. Again, beautifully done figure. Love the dynamic pose. Love that Figaro has got the one eye closed, accepting the kiss from Cleo, which I think is absolutely adorable. Lovely moment again from the movie. You know, goldfish and cat sharing a great moment together, which I think was really cute. So beautifully done figure. Again, comes with the stand, which helps you with Figaro standing on one leg, but it does counterbalance a bit with the fishbowl. So if you're not going to use the stand, that's kind of up to you. Most of these figures do stand without the stand. If you are someone who doesn't really like stands, or you need to use the stand for another figure in your collection, which I know a lot of people do. So if that's the case, you're fine, you're good, and they will stand by themselves. Speaking of figures and stands, the last one in the set that we're going to look at today is of course the Blue Fairy. Now she comes with a stand as well, which I think is a bit strange because she's got a pretty sturdy and solid base as it is. She really doesn't need a stand to be able to stand up, but you know, props to Funko for going ahead and putting stands with all of their figures. There are figures in my collection that don't have stands that I still curse Funko for not putting stands with, so can't complain for getting a stand for a figure that you don't really need. Blue Fairy, really prettily done figure, prettily done, nicely done, well molded, well sculpted. I like that her robes are kind of translucent. For the chase, I'm pretty sure that her entire dress is kind of translucent and sort of see-through, and you can also see a bit of glitter, I think, throughout the sculpt. So if somebody does have a chase out there, let me know in the comments if I'm right, just from what I've seen of the concept art and the glam shots for the figure. But again, lovely figure. Not as much detail in this as I would have liked. Like I said, this is a range and a wave that is beautifully detailed. I don't think they hit those same marks with the Blue Fairy. I do like the translucent arms, you know, the arms for the dress, and the wand is nicely painted and very clear. I like that her finger is held behind it, so it does look like she has a bit of control over the wand. But if you look at the back, I think they could have done more with her wings. I understand why they didn't. It is at the back of the figure, and I almost forgot that she had wings until I saw the back of the figure. So if this is an in-box figure for you, you're not really going to see the wings too well, which isn't a big problem. It's not major. It's just me nitpicking and being, you know, giving a bit of critique, because I love this entire wave, and I've got to be a bit impartial somewhere. I've got to give a bit of criticism. So that's my only criticism of this wave. I love the figures. I love what Funko have done with them. As I've said, I'm very excited, and I hope that this yields a generation of Funko going back into their archives and vaults and their licenses, and finding things that they can make that are new and bringing us new characters, new molds, that not from new movies necessarily. Just go back through the vault, find some cool old stuff that we haven't yet had. I mean, in Star Wars, we only just recently got like a more common version of Qui-Gon. So there's so much that Funko can make. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to see Funko make from the different licenses that they haven't made already. I would love to see a young Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars, like Phantom Menace, or a movie moment with Qui-Gon, Darth Maul and Obi-Wan fighting together. I think that would be absolutely epic. From the Pinocchio line, they still have some characters that they haven't gone ahead and made, so there's still some opportunities there. There's a cool movie moment maybe with Monstro the Whale would be quite interesting. I think Monstro the Whale, they've made the Jaws shark, so Monstro the Whale himself would be an interesting character to actually make as a pop. There's of course the whole sort of gang of people that kidnap Pinocchio. Their names are all escaping me now. I know it's Stromboli who runs the whole operation. And and Fine Fellow is one of them as well. So those would be cool pops. I think they could detail them absolutely beautifully as well. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. What do you think of this line? Is it a wave you're going to be picking up, or are you searching for that original Pinocchio and original Jiminy? Do you have this in your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm always super keen to chat with all of you guys. But guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing, and hope you enjoyed seeing these brand new figures. Thank you again to the Geek Merchant for bringing these into South Africa, and for the great service as well. It's always greatly appreciated. Guys, definitely go ahead, check him out. But until next time, that's about it for today's video. So all of the best. If you did enjoy the video, please do all the YouTube cliches, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you guys next time.